and welcome everybody to my virtual campfire. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you're doing well. And yes, I'm wearing my shark shirt because of, well, I don't know, I grabbed it out of the closet, but it kind of ties in with what I'm going to be talking about. I do have some comments. I'd like to hear from you. I read all the comments, I listen to all my voicemail messages, and I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me around this virtual campfire as we try and talk about, well, I think things that are important to discuss, not just about camping and RVing, although I primarily talk about that because I love it so much. But we talk about life and kind of like, well, like you would around a real campfire. So if you'd like to get these shirts, if you're interested in the shirts that you see me wearing here on YouTube, all you have to do is click on the description. It's High Seas Trading Company. A link to it is down below. And if you use the keyword Wingman24 at the checkout, you'll save 10%. I love these shirts. I don't get a penny for them. I got to pay for them just like you do. But they're really, really good looking shirts. All right. As I said, speaking of sharks, if you had, here's something to just consider. If you had $500 and you lost $10 of that 500, would it really bother you that much? What if you had $500 and you could go out and just like with the stroke of a pen, you could get $10 more. Now you got $510. Would that be a good thing? Probably would. What if it was your last $500? How hard would it be to lose 10? What does all this have to do with anything? Well, did you see, just bear with me now, did you see that our fearless CEO of Camping World sold 100,000 shares of Camping World stock? 100,000 shares. Now, I'm going to go back to that 500 thing here in just a minute. But Camping World Holdings CEO Marcus Lemonis sold 100,000 shares of Camping World stock in a transaction that occurred Friday, March the 15th. So this was a while back. The shares were sold at an average price of blah, 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 for a total value of about little over $2.5 million. Following the completion of the transaction, the CEO now owns 405,268 shares of the company, valued at $10 million. So, he's still got $10 million worth of value, stock in the company, and he sold $2.5 million worth of stock. Okay, so what does that mean in the overall scheme of things? Why would a CEO, a rich CEO, sell $2.5 million worth of their stock, about 20% of their stock portfolio now? Before I give you, there's not really an answer because I don't know, I can't get inside of his mind, but I will tell you a story about when I worked with Chevrolet and I was had gotten close with somebody that was very, very high up the chain at Chevrolet, and the stock was going up really good. And I said, man, everybody's, the stock must be great. And he goes, no, the business is not as good as you might think it is. So what are you talking about? Everybody's got a new Chevy truck, maybe two of them. He said, well, we're starting to see a change. And I'm thinking, well, I don't see it. Well, he saw it. And boy, was he prophetic. I'm not saying that that is the way this is with Camping World. I'm not saying that, but could it be? I don't know. Let's go on and look at the next screen. I went to this website up here. You can check it out. Celebrity Net Worth. What is Marcus Lemonis worth? He's worth $500 million. Would that be nice or what? He just put $2.5 million more in his pocket. So that's why I said, let's go down here. What is his net worth? Marcus Lemonis is an American businessman, reality television personality who has a net worth of $502.5 million. About. Marcus is best known for his role in the CNBC reality show The Profit, where he helps, you bet, struggling small businesses around the U.S. by investing his own money in exchange for a stake in the company. Well, now he just got $2.5 million richer, didn't he? Well, isn't that, just think about the percentages. If he's got $500 million, what's another couple of million? I mean, it's nice, but does he see something that we don't see? Does he know something that we don't know, but we might find out in the future? I don't know, drop a comment below. Don't you think it's kind of coincidental that some of the largest CEOs, the biggest, richest CEOs in our country, Jeff Bezos being among them, are beginning to sell their stock when it's at an all-time high? What do you think is going to happen? Literally, drop a comment below. And what do you think of Marcus selling his, what was that, 20% of his shares in Camping World? What would happen if he lost the other $10 million? I think that's where I'm going with this. So he's still got $10 million. Now he's got $10 million in stock. What would happen if Camping World went bankrupt? What if that $10 million was worth nothing? He had $500 million. He loses $10 million. Just saying. Again, I'd like to know what you think. All right, let's get to some comments here. We've got this one from Bob Silvano. And I think a lot of you will, some of you, I wish it wasn't this way, but will relate to this. Bob says, Alan, love your show. Great first-person information you provide. My question regarding doing a voluntary repo on a 2-year-old Class A. My wife and I purchased the unit new in April of 22. Since the health of my wife has taken a turn for the worst, and it is not feasible for us to continue RVing. The payments are not a problem. However, we took a 20-year note. We have a great credit score, 820, and I know that a voluntary repo would cause a big hit on that credit rating. So right now, it's in storage. I'm looking for the best way to get out from under it. Help! Okay, well, several things here, Bob. First off, I do appreciate you for contacting me, and you're probably not going to like what I have to say. Please don't shoot the messenger. You asked for my opinion. The bottom line is, if you can afford to make the payments, keep making the payments. Hope and pray that your wife's health gets better. You put a 20-year note on an RV that is a depreciating, it's hard for me to even say it, a 20-year note on a depreciating asset like a Class A. That is putting a financial noose around your neck, at least in my opinion. You know, I'm glad you've got a great credit score. I'm glad you can afford the payments. Hopefully you can afford to store it and maintain it and insure it, and hopefully even to use it. But don't give it up. Do you know how many years it's going to take you if you give that thing back, voluntary or not? Your wife, you say, has some serious health issues. I get it. That's not cool. But the bank doesn't care. They don't care what your story is. They just want their money. They're not going to care. And the credit score that you've got of 820 is fantastic. Why would you put 7 years? It can affect your credit in a negative way for 7 years if you give it back. Voluntarily, or they come and tow it away. It doesn't matter. 7 years. I don't know how old you are, but I would say don't turn it in. Thank God you say you can afford to make the payments. One thing you may want to think about, I'm not suggesting doing it, I'm suggesting you're looking for options. What you might want to do is to look into a rental pool where you can rent the RV out. And many people are doing it. Some people swear by it. Some people swear about it because it turns into a nightmare for them. But think about it. Pray for the best for your wife, and prepare for the worst, I guess. But make those payments. Don't destroy your credit. You've worked your whole life to get an 820 credit score. Let's pull up another bunch of comments here. This one is from the video I did recently with Ron Burge, which is an RV lemon lawyer, my good friend up in Ohio. And I want to clarify that most RVs are not lemons. They're not. All RVs will fall apart. They will. And if you're not prepared to do some of the hard work to keep an RV in good shape, you may not want to buy one. L. Mallard says, bottom line is don't buy an RV unless you want more stress, which seems contrary because people buy RVs to have less stress. People buy RVs because they have a dream. I think that honest people, the people that are honest about that dream, realize that stress, some level of stress is going to come with pursuing that dream of travel and adventure and freedom. It comes with a price, and that price is called stress. If you don't want any stress, don't buy an RV. Don't. But if you're willing to pay the price, the benefit from RVing, I think, is well worth it. At least it is for me. L. Mallard made another comment. He said, we bought a used model that was of the same year we purchased. The first owner used it once or twice for weekend trips and decided it was not right for them. Camping World told us there's no warranty on the unit. That's okay with me because RV warranty work in the past was too much trouble on my part to get what the dealer did. I, with a few skills, could have done the same as they did, and I could have the RV to use rather than it sitting on their lot until they wanted to get to it. I wonder, though, if one were to get a loan to buy and the lending agency would want the unit to have a warranty. I don't know about that. I don't know about them wanting to buy or wanting you to have a warranty if you buy a used, basically a new, but maybe a 1-year-old RV, but it's been titled before. When people say that let's go back to the beginning. It says the first owner used it once or twice for weekend trips and decided it was not right for them. How do you know that? Did you talk to the owner? Do you believe the owner? Or did the salesperson tell you that? I would have a real healthy dose of skepticism there. There's a reason, generally speaking, why somebody, if they did use it once or twice, they didn't, well, let's just write it off and we're going to lose the money. I don't think many people do that. So I would be very, very hesitant about getting into a deal like that. Richard McKinley says these are great interviews, excellent knowledge for us as consumers to have in order to protect ourselves from the wolves of the RV industry. The wolves are out there. I don't think there's as many as some people think there are. But if you are smart, if you are well prepared, if you read my RV report, I promise you, and you follow some of the things in that report, you will be well prepared to deal with the wolves if and when you confront them in the RV industry. So I can continue to want to interview Ron Burge, Rick Dalton, good, smart people that will help arm you, if you will, with the knowledge to protect yourself just in case. All right, let's see. Ray says, I like all your topics. I'm a first-time buyer looking at C's and B's. What's the scoop on this CW online auction? I assume, Ray, you're talking about Camping World, and I have 2 words: stay away. That's my advice. Stay away. What looks good on paper or looks good on the internet with pretty pictures and it's a highly sought after RV. It was only used once or twice and the people decided it wasn't for them. I'd be very cautious about that. If you haven't laid eyes on the RV, if you haven't actually looked at it, walked in it, sat on the potty, felt the floor, walked around, looked up for roof leak, if you haven't done that, don't make an offer on it unless it's subject to that. Also, it's a good idea, as always, if you have any doubts, get an inspection, even if you're buying from one of the RV dealers I trust. That's right. If you have any doubts in the RV that you're getting ready to purchase, hey, get a third-party independent inspection. Be willing to pay for it. It could save you. It really could. But it's another expense and a cost. I call it peace of mind. Let's see. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. All right, so let me know what you think. Going back to my shark shirt. Did I choose properly today? I don't know. I'm not jealous. I'm really not of a man that's got $500 million. Do I wish I had a little bit more money than I do? I do. But I sleep pretty well at night, and I don't rip people's faces off. And most people don't come back at me and say, you screwed me over. I see too many people that walk in, as I say, they're hypnotized. They walk into an RV dealer, and they sign the papers, and all of a sudden they come out of the ether. They wake up sometime after their purchase and say, oh my God. Like the gentleman that I read the comment, he has a 20-year note on a Class A motorhome. He just bought it a couple of years ago. So drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of today's topics. Again, I do read all the comments. I love getting your emails and voicemail messages. You can click on the description of this video and find out, how to contact me and the RV dealers that I trust. So thanks so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I'm Alan Warren. They call me the Wingman. I encourage you to be a better wingman and a better wing woman to people around you, because our world needs better people, grounded people. We don't have all the answers, but we can finally start standing up for what we believe is right. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.